Senate Bill 131 requires inclusion of Asian American and Pacific Islander AAPI history in our state's K through 12 classrooms. Mr. President, this is not just a matter of making sure that students learn the contributions of Asian Americans and Pacific Islanders in our state and in our country, which of course is very important, but it also is a matter of public safety. Requiring the contributions, histories, and experience of AAPIs serves as a long-term preventive measure against Asian American and Pacific Islander bullying, violence, and hate, which we have seen proliferate over the past few years. Current laws fail to address the root cause of anti-AAPI hate, which is that AAPIs are perceived to be perpetual for foreigners and threats, as opposed to our neighbors and our fellow Americans. According to AAPI data, 1 in 6 Asian American adults across the country experienced a hate crime or hate incident in 2021, an increase from 1 in 8 in 2020. 8 out of 10 Asian Americans have experienced bullying either online or in person, with 60% of incidents involving Asian American and Pacific Islander youth being bullied by adults. As some of you may remember, when the bill was heard in the Finance Committee, we heard firsthand stories from our AAPI neighbors and friends. Many of you were also generous with your time, and you met with members from Make Us Visible organization, some who live here in Juneau, from Anchorage, and the co-founder from New York City. They shared their stories while emphasizing the importance of passing this bill, and I thank all of you who welcomed their visits. Hate crimes against Asian Americans and Pacific Islanders are frequently unreported because there's often a hesitancy to engage with government authorities stemming from cultural factors. National surveys and studies indicate that education is one of the most recommended long-term solutions to combating anti-AAPI violence. Education directly confronts anti-AAPI stereotypes who conclude that AAPIs are not real Americans. The passage of SB 131 and the subsequent codification requirement that AAPI history and contributions be taught in grades K through 12 will lead to increased acceptance and understanding of Americans of Asian and Pacific ancestry. For AAPI students specifically, it will bolster their mental health and sense of belonging in the state they call home. I would like to also note that we received a letter from the Anchorage School District Board and the superintendent. And as you know, Anchorage School District is the largest school district in the state, serving roughly 43,000 students, and over 17% are Asian American and Pacific Islanders. That's 7,400 students across elementary, middle, and high school. Mr. President, may I have permission to read a couple of sentences from the
Without
letter we
objection,
received?
so ordered. Senator Gray
Thank you,
Jackson.
Mr. President. From the letter, by supporting Senate Bill 131, we are not only honoring the rich heritage and contribution of Asian American and Pacific Islander communities, but also providing students with a more comprehensive understanding of our nation's history and the diverse tapestry of its enriching cultures. By including this vital aspect of our shared history in school curricula, we can ensure that future generations of Alaskan students have a better understanding of the incredibly rich history and cultures of Asian American and Pacific Islanders in Alaska. Research shows that representation within the classroom not only increases feelings of belonging, but also supports a positive school environment in which students feel more confident in their abilities and celebrates academic achievement. Mr. President, I urge all of us in this room this afternoon to join me in voting for SB 131. Thank you, Mr. President.